Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. Now, everyone has what they call the comfort food. When you are sad, when you're upset, or even when you're happy, you go to the type of food that make you feel good. And for my wife, her comfort food is macaroni and cheese. But for me, it's this dish. This is tofu with bok choy. Now, it is funny, and I will explain that to you a little bit. First of all, let's talk a little bit about bok choy. There are many different kinds of bok choy, but there are many other types of vegetables that are very similar to bok choy. And collectively, they are known as Asian brassica. The reason they are known as Asian brassica because they come from a common ancestor, which is a wild mustard plant. You'll be surprised that this wild mustard plant is responsible for giving us kohlrabi, kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and cauliflower, in addition to the Asian brassica. All of this come from a single ancestor. This variety of bok choy is probably the most frequently found bok choy in supermarket. In fact, you can find them in many just traditional supermarket, not just go to the Asian supermarket. There are many ways to cook them. A lot of time people cook them as a whole. This is a well-known bok choy dish, which you've stir-fried it with garlic. In many ways, it is not really stir-fried. You boil it. It's probably more appropriate. And there are other ways you cook them. In this way, you cook it with shiitake mushroom. However, I want to tell you that this is not the best way to cook bok choy. The best way to cook bok choy is to cut it up and to stir-fry them with something else, because this will make the bok choy taste better. At the same time, it will enhance the other ingredients in this dish. Now, for this particular dish, I'm going to stir-fry it with what I call fried tofu, and I'll explain that in a minute. I always have bok choy in my advanced prepping. That's why when I do not feel good, I can go to it. Now, I bought this bok choy actually from an Asian supermarket. It was very inexpensive. They were on sale for 79 cents a pound. Well, of course, I cannot pass it up. Now, to prep the bok choy is really important. If you leave the bok choy in the bag, you will find that in almost no time at all, the leaves will turn yellow. However, if you cut it up, it will have a much longer shelf life. And furthermore, when you cut it up, it's much faster to cook and the flavor is also better, because really the flavor of the bok choy is in the stem. Once I prep them, it will last about 10 days. The next part of this dish is fried tofu. I love fried tofu. Now, I'm not a big fan of regular tofu. But when it comes to fried tofu, it's an entirely different story. I love the texture of the fried tofu. Now, most of the time, when people eat fried tofu, they're thinking about frying them themselves. And I used to do that. But if you try to fry tofu yourself, you will know that it is a lot of work and it takes time. So I discovered that you can buy tofu that are already fried. They might not taste as good as you fry them fresh, but they're not bad at all. So in this case, I bought this fried tofu from a Chinese grocery store, and it's not very expensive. And then I will cut them up into cubes. So I'm going to fry them with the bok choy. This is an excellent way to eat fried tofu. I cooked this dish about a couple of weeks ago. I was under some sort of, I would call it discomfort for many reasons. And my back pain bothers me, and things just does not go well just like that. So that evening, I was really tired, and I was by myself. I said, I want to cook something that I'm going to enjoy. So I find some bok choy. Now, this bok choy has been in the refrigerator for about maybe close to a week. As you can see, that it's still in very good shape, but you notice that some of the leaf, you can detect a little bit yellowness. And this is what will happen when the bok choy start to deteriorate in quality. It's the leaf start to change color first. But in this case, it doesn't matter because the leaf is going to cook down very quickly. What is going to be left is the stem. And when you eat bok choy, what you want to enjoy is the stem. Now, when you cook bok choy, the stem plays a very important role, and the controlling of the texture will result in whether this is how you like it. Now, different people like the stem in different type of firmness. I like it to be relatively soft, but some people like it to be more crisp. So you can decide how much you want to cook it. Of course, the first step is to stir fry it. I use a little bit oil, not very much, and the stir frying will actually create better flavor on the surface of the bok choy. It's much better than if you just simply boil them, because stir frying the high oil temperature will create more flavor molecule, as described by the famous Maillard chemical reaction, that at particular temperature you're going to generate flavor molecule on the surface of the vegetables or meat. Now, for vegetables that are fibrous, quite often frying them is not sufficient to soften the texture of the fiber, because the heat cannot penetrate very well into the vegetables. So in this case, steaming is the way to do it. So in this case, what I'm doing is that I'm combining stir frying with steaming. I start to add water to it, and as I continue to stir it, you notice that the vegetables soften very, very rapidly. This is one way to soften the vegetable. Now, as you can see here, I add only a little bit water at a time. I just want to have enough water at the bottom. This will not dilute the flavor of the vegetable. Now, it has softened to the texture that I want. The next step is that I'm going to add the tofu to it. Now, you notice that the tofu is already cooked. So basically, what I'm doing is just warming up the tofu with the bok choy. So in this case, you want to cook the bok choy pretty much up to the texture and doneness that you want before you add the tofu, because it takes no time to cook the tofu. And by this time, I am pretty much ready to finish up the dish. I'm going to do a taste test to make sure that the texture of the vegetable is the way how I want it. As I mentioned earlier, I like it to be on the soft side, but you might like it to be on the hard side. As I mentioned, this is probably the best way to cook bok choy, by cutting them into small pieces. I decided I'm going to add just a little bit more water to create a light sauce. Now, the dish like this is already very good flavor. In fact, all you have to do, perhaps just season it with some salt and pepper. But however, there are better ways to season it to give it a little bit more umami flavor. And in my case, I decided I'm going to season it with just a touch of oyster sauce. Now, oyster sauce is truly my go-to sauce because it allows me to create a light umami flavor without affecting the natural flavor of the food ingredients, which is the bok choy and the fried tofu. And here I'm also going to add a touch of a chili oil with a fermented soybean, and this will make the dish more interesting. Again, I only very lightly season this dish, so I can actually enjoy the natural flavor of the bok choy as well as the tofu. So as you can see, this dish takes almost no time to cook, and this is why advanced prepping plays a really significant role. For this dish, the only thing I need to do is to cut up the tofu, because I already have the bok choy in my advanced prepping. Now, there are many different kinds of bok choy. Now, this Shanghai Bok Choy is probably the most frequently found bok choy in traditional, I would call it, American supermarket. However, if you go to a Asian supermarket, you will find number of different kinds of bok choys of different sizes, different type of color, and so you can choose them based on how you like it. Now, bok choy has great nutritional value, and it is one of those vegetables that has been around for a long time. In fact, the term bok choy, bok means white, choy, of course, in Chinese means vegetable. So it really translated to white vegetable. The reason is that because you go to supermarket, you find the traditional bok choy, which is the one that are much larger than this, and the stem is completely white. Now, this one is well known for the green color stem. But you will find other bok choy which is similar in size, baby bok choy size, that have the stem that in white color. Now, bok choy is frequently used for celebrating in special occasions. And because the white color of the bok choy represent silver, and the green color usually represent prosperity. So bok choy is definitely a vegetable have a lot of a good meaning in celebrations. Again, for me, it is something that I really enjoy. Now, why do I enjoy a dish like this? Well, because I grew up with it. And this is why childhood experience in food is so important. My wife, her experience is macaroni and cheese. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using my fast cooking system. If you'd like to learn more about this cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.